Here we go, day 5. So in terms of day 5, what we're going to be looking at is our reporting. So what's important is as we're doing this process, as we're building up a Facebook account, we want to get it to 10K per month. We do want to know what's happening, the percentage of things. So yesterday, in the background, I set up a KPI, custom KPI reporting pipeline, so we can see every step, percentage. We can customize these things as well, add some more KPIs, etc. So I'm just zoomed in right now so we can see this exact pipeline, and this is for the past, let's see, from October 1st to 28th. Right, so we started the 22nd, but I'm just gonna keep it like that, so it's like the full month of October. Right, and we see we imported 364 leads. We this is selected pipeline, but this should be qualified prospects. There we go. We'll just do this quickly. All right, so we have 118 qualified prospects. We've sent 67 friend requests. So I actually sent 9 this morning already, and we're gonna go into the reporting, or 8. Sorry, so you can see exactly, like yesterday I sent 13. I know I said I was gonna bump it up to 15, so you'll see that. I'm just waiting for another block here, and I'll send another 7 to hit 15 today. So you'll see because of that, my friend request acceptance technically is down because I just sent some this morning. But we have 15%. By the end of the day, it's probably going to be closer to 20%. So we seem to be averaging about 20% acceptance rate. So there's maybe after a week to 2 weeks, I'll take a look. Generally after 100 to 200 friend requests sent, if you're not hitting, like we like 30 to 40%. So there's going to be tweaks on my account that I'll try and do to get to there. But this is, like I said, a brand new account. So mutual friends does have something to do with it, where if you're adding people when you have 10, 15, 50, 100, 200 mutual friends, well then at that point you're going to get a higher acceptance rate. So that is a factor in terms of building this account and scaling it. Right, so out of the acceptance rate, just so you can see that's 10 people that accepted out of 67 so far, and we have sent 6 initial messages. So there's 4 people that accepted from yesterday that I need to go to and send in the initial message to, like you saw the day before. And then out of those 2 right now, we have 2 message received. So we have somebody else that sent in a response. So we actually have a 33% response rate. That's pretty good. We'll see, it's too early to really figure out stats at this point. And then we're still going to keep the transition questions going. Hopefully we send an invite to call today to Ginger, and then maybe even a booking link depending on how the conversation goes, and book the call. So that's hopefully the goal by today is we book the call, and then that's full circle within a week, or 7 days, but actually really 5 business days. We've started conversations. We have 10 qualified awesome potential clients. So that's a lot of potential pipeline value there that have already accepted, and there's probably going to be more by the end of the day. And then you can see the system working already. We have 2 messages received. We're going to keep going on and keep going forward to just keep sending out booking links. The goal on one account is to send 10 booking links per day. If you get to that volume, the chances of you booking 2 to 3 calls per day are quite high. And if you're doing 3 calls per day, 5 days a week, that's 15 calls per week, 60 calls per month. So that's a good baseline. And if you're closing at 20%, if you do a calculator here, so let's just say you have 60 calls, and industry standard is about 20% close. Funny enough, our team is like hovering close to, I think this week, like 40%, 50%. So what you'd want to do here is 60 times 0.2. So you would have, 60 times 0.2. So you'd have 12 deals, right, if you had 60 calls booked. And then if your ticket price, so like I said, I'll just use mine so we can use actual numbers. Minimum deal value for me is about $19.97, right? So we have, you can always go see, but just so you can see the pricing here, right? It's $247 a month, but yearly they get a discount, so that's the lowest value. Now there's definitely higher value, like you see our growth is 5K. So I'm just going to use our lowest value here just to be safe, and I'll say 12 times our lowest value of 997. Oops. So we'll go 12 times 1997. So I know that in a month, if I was just closing those deals and just on one account, I should be able to bring in about 23,000. Right? So that 10K gets kind of blown out of the water pretty quickly. Now imagine if out of those 10 or 12 deals, even 2 are the 5K deals. So now we have 2 times 5,000 plus 10 times, and I didn't do it right, but you'd have 10 times, if I go back, 10 times 1997 plus 5,000 plus 5,000, because 2 5K deals. So that is, let's just say another 10,000. We're now almost at 30,000. And guess what? At FlowChat, with our pricing, if I go back to it quickly, our white label option, that's actually for the year 8,900, so 9,000. So you can see how quickly you can get to 50,000 a month, 60,000 a month, depending on what your service is, right? So the higher the better that you're charging, and I'm sure you've heard that. Obviously, you need to deliver value, and if you can do that, then this is a no-brainer. So we now have 2 messages received. I'm going to go back in, we're going to close this, we're going to go out of this, and then just to show you, these are my daily stats. So I always like to look at this and you can see exactly what happened. So actually we already have 1 person that accepted, so I probably have a higher acceptance rate from today, right? So yesterday we have 5 people. We had 2 people write Ginger the first day, and you can see the names, which is awesome. And then here we have our friend request sent with the initial message sent. So just that's the initial message. And then we have our message received, or transition question, so message received, transition question, etc. So now we're going to go back in. We're going to go, or just reload. I always like to reload just before we do anything, see if anything changed. I'll pull open my Facebook. The other thing, I won't do this today, but as you know, we're going to do a post today. So today would be a good just personal post or a feature post. So we did a case study yesterday. Right, so I would go to my main account. We did the case study from Fabi, and that's awesome. That's okay, right? We're not expecting any volume right here. We only have 9 friends total at the moment, right? We're gonna get more as we go, and the idea is hopefully they see something like that or another lead magnet like I have on my main account. All right, so if you have a really good post, I'll just show you on my main account. I have a post from 2024 that's still doing well, right? 2024, people say comment DM me, or I say DM me, DM 1 if you comment that, and I have over 106 comments, a decent amount of engagement. So I just leave that, and whenever people see that, they comment, and it happens quite frequently since 2024, right? And then that's a lead magnet. I send them over just a PDF on the 3 golden rules of the DMs. Some of them I've shared with you already, and then from there best practices, what to do, what not to do, etc. So if you're doing anything like that, that is what I'm gonna do here, just a different version. And right now, right, it's just to talk about FlowChat. So my next one would be probably a feature of FlowChat, like for example, how to automate your school community and send 1,000 school messages with 1 click, right? So it's something like that that's really cool, catchy, and for the target audience that we're going after. So if I was going after school community owners, and those are usually content creators, influencers, agency owners, service-based businesses, things like that. AI agencies is a big one now. So then at that point, I could just target that industry and make my content purely about that, as you can imagine. So here we're gonna go in, we're gonna send over our next batch of 4 messages of the people that we've requested, and we're gonna send over our initial follow-ups. So here, as you know, we have sent over as promised, or oh nice, Ginger responded. I love seeing that. So we're gonna go in here, right? I'll be back to say something better here. We're gonna have a little fun with this today. I'm gonna ask a question to prompt engagement in a way where it's gonna drive the person nuts if they don't respond, right? So, I'm back. Curious. Actually, I don't like the word curious. A lot of people are using it. So we're just going to ask the question. Why did do you know, we're going to say this, right? Do you know why the business, we're going to say founder or business owner. That's pretty easy. Business owner always walks with his head down in the morning. All right, so now if you got that question, what are you thinking, right? What how does a business owner walking with his head down in the morning, like what does that have to do with anything, right? Another one, we'll have a little bit of fun with this one. So we sent that over. Jaden, I could just move Jaden over here now, right? Instead of just going in here and moving it with the overlay. That's how easy it is. We can just go to Joshua. Look how quick this is. And then here, hit continue, right? I'm back. And I'm back. Do you know how dirty socks and your business might be the same? All right, so here people are gonna like, what dirty socks in my business? How does that make sense? So psychologically they can't connect the two, and the engagement rate, right? So what we're trying to do is get them to engage. So as long as you can do this in a what we call a humor or a romance type of way, and not maybe the way that you're thinking about it, but essentially if you can get people to laugh, a pattern interrupt, something that's different. So if I go into, I don't know if I'm getting any messages, but usually go into your spam folder, right? Just go here, go into your message request, go into your spam. If you have, especially like if your account's been around for a while, if you have any spam, you're gonna see it's all like, hey name, hi name, hey name, or sir or ma'am, or a huge paragraph of just this is my service, this is how we can help, this is who we've helped, like pitch slapping, right? Like I mentioned. So we don't want to do that here. Here we're gonna get engagement, and people are just gonna like scratch their head, like, come on, like what's going on here? I don't get it. I gotta answer this. I gotta figure this out, right? So we've now moved Joshua. We're then gonna go into Richard. Oops, I wanted to click this, right? And what we can do is once we know one of these messages is gonna hit really well, then at that point, what we're gonna do is use it and put it as a template, right? So I actually like this one. It was Richard here. I just knew that he was there, but generally you can just go back into FlowChat. Had time to come back. Okay, so dirty salt. Yeah, let's see it. That one would have me. That one would have me questioning some things. Okay, so now we move Richard. So we've sent those initial follow-ups. Our trigger is 5 days. If they don't respond in 5 days, then we're gonna follow up again, and we're gonna give them the punchline. Or if it's Nicholas, we're gonna follow up with a yes, no, maybe so, right? And we can still use yes, no, maybe so, right? Because it makes sense. Because we're asking a question. Do you know how socks relate to your business? Yes, no, maybe so, right? Same thing here. Okay, so what we can do, just for fun, we can try this approach in a little bit of a different way. And why we would be doing this at the start is just to test. Once you know exactly what works, you're not going to start testing and changing things all the time. You're going to have that process just dialed in, right? Like, I already know my baseline based off my other account for this, so I'm able to test now with this new account, and it's allows me to be a little bit more free with messaging, etc. Right? So here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna test and not say like I'm back. We're gonna try and get engagement right off the bat. So what we're gonna say is, do you know why the founder walks with her head down when she's on the sidewalk? So we're gonna say, why does the founder walk with her head down on the sidewalk in the morning? Because in the morning is just kind of fun, right? And then we're gonna say, let me know if you can guess Millie. Smiley face. So now we've sent Millie that initial message. Alright, she's in the friend request accepted. That's weird. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna put it over here. We're gonna reload that. But yeah, I think you get the point there. So odds of that coming back pretty high. Now what we're gonna do, because Ginger responded, we're gonna go back to Ginger. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna see what happened. Going through, okay, so just for context, right, in case you missed this, this is the flow, and like I mentioned, I know that it already works. So this is the one that I don't need to test. I just know I'll get conversations in the right spot, exactly where I want. So, great to connect. And she said, cool, I'll be waiting. Okay, I came back. This is personalized, right, in a way, but I used our template. No, she said LinkedIn is her main platform. Going through operation reorganization right now, so not doing lead gen too much right now. Just Google and cold outreach. 2026, I will hit it again. So we're gonna hard it. Guess what? Let's say I don't want to think about responding. Let's see what our AI says. Oh, yeah, there's something wrong there on that side. That's probably just because my test account, right? So, really didn't expect you to say that. That's usually our go-to, right? So we're gonna say, would you be opposed to seeing how we could work together to get your 2026 off to a rocket ship start based on rocket ship start. Since you're doing cold outreach, I think you'll love the tech you built. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna say so we're gonna say PS, we just helped Charles collect 400K cash. 400K cash with cold outreach on socials. Okay, so we dropped a little bit of a case study here because I want her to. Um, so usually you could say like something like that, and and that's good because essentially I'm just letting her know that it's like giving her an out. Like, so this is for 2026. It's not for right now. So you're even on the sales call, the demo call, the conversation call. She's not going to feel pressured to buy on at that time. But once she sees it, FlowChat, the software, and it can maybe help her do cold outreach before 2026 and make her money before 2026, like you see here, like I'm doing. Well, then, bam, we have the exact call. So we've invited to call you, right? So this is the next step of the conversation. And then as soon as she says, yeah, let's do it. And if you notice I went negative, would you be opposed? This is beautiful because it's way easier for people to say no. Like, no, I'm not opposed to it, than yes, right? It's just psychologically people always go with no, so you make it easy for them. And then here, I would paste this, right? And it would say, awesome, here's my spot, here's my link, boom, and then booked. And then we have a first opportunity if she's a white label client and wants to buy for a year, because I don't know her exact situation yet, but she's doing operations and reorganization. So maybe she's doing a lot of like updates and software and trying to get rid of software, and we can consolidate. There's so much opportunity. I love this part of sales, right? And that's where when we hop on a call, we're going to do a little bit more research on Ginger, on her business, figure out exactly like what's going on, right? It's her AI business for healthcare. So I'm going to pull up some of my clients in that space, see how we can help there, and then talk to her and just figure out exactly what's going on her side, right? What she's looking to do operationally, why she's reorganizing, what's happening, right? Something must have happened to that. So just putting my listening ears on, and then the idea here is if I was too busy, I could then book this onto somebody else's calendar on my team, or if I'm an appointment setter, I'm inside my founder's account, CEO's account, CMO's account, CTO's account, whoever C-suite executive's account. Now I've booked them a call, and if I need to direct it, like for example, if I need to send it to one of my senior salespeople like April or Mishi, I could then send their links over and say, hey, like now that you said that, I think you really need to talk to my cold outreach expert, Mishi, or my Google expert, April. She'll explain how FlowChat works really well with that and how we can work together so your 2026 like goes nuts. Will that be worth it? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Right? And simple from last Thursday to now we're Tuesday, not even a week, and we've gotten almost the call book. So that's awesome. We've moved her into invite to call. I'll just reload that, but she's going to be here now, which is perfect. As you can see, we're moving everybody forward, and that's the whole idea, right? And then from there, we sent, a couple first messages. We've sent some follow-up. Oh, I think I put those people in the wrong. Oh yeah, those are initial messages and follow-up. So Millie was over. Actually, we've just sent Millie a first one. There we go. And I should have just trusted the system, right? That's why you can see how quickly it gets confusing, right? And imagine if you didn't have a system in place. So just trust the system, and especially when you run automations. I'll end us here now by running the last automation. We're going to do 3, and we're going to go ahead and hit run now. And that's it. I'm going to finish my coffee. I'm going to upload this on YouTube. So that is day 5, Tuesday, October 28th. We'll see you tomorrow on day 6. And day 7 is going to be Thursday. So crazy, almost 7 business days. And we'll see a book call. Hopefully by the end of today, as you saw, I've invited to call, which is the next step. Once she says yes, I'm sending them the link, and then it's up to her to book. I can also ask for her email or phone number, book it on my side, and ask her what time works best. Right? So there's a couple different ways of being able to take control of the booking conversation. for this simple like step of just sending the booking link, because a lot of people are used to that. They'll click on it and whatnot. We have tactics if they tell you, I don't want to click on that. Even had a guy yesterday or 2 days ago told one of my team members he lost 50K by clicking a link, so he didn't want to click on it. We just booked him in. I'm talking to him today. We just booked him in manually. We got his email. Good to go. Right. So there's ways that you can do that for tomorrow or today. And when I send over the booking link, you'll see either we'll do it live or I'll post record it. You'll see the conversation, the booking link sent, and then I'll show the booking, my calendar when it lands. And then, hey, who knows, maybe I'll even show the full process of that call. I'll ask Ginger if I'm able to showcase it, market it, and then if she's open to it, then maybe we share this full conversation. If not, then I can give highlights and I can break down exactly what happened on that call. And then we'll continue with the reporting and the custom pipelines and everything like that. So a little bit of a longer video. Once again, this is hopefully helping you. If it is, please share this with somebody where you think, hey, you're scared of Facebook. You should be doing this, right? You need this in your business. Or even, as you can see, this isn't just for Facebook, it's for LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, X, which is for Twitter, or TikTok, right? Any of those platforms, even if you're doing YouTube videos, we can import the subscribers and start sending them messages on Facebook, LinkedIn, even emails. There's different ways, right, of doing different things, but you should be using social media. And if you're not, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. And guess what? Today in 2025, going into 2026 and 2027, 2028, it's only going to get better, and there's only going to be more automations, more AI, as long as you can keep it on brand, personalized, and the right message with the right strategy. You're going to blow everybody out of the water. And that's where we come in, right? So awesome to see. We've sent our next message to Colby here, right? Awesome plain picture. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good rest of your day.